Hello, Twin Minds here. Welcome back to Autonauts. Last time, I set up the bees as well as the cows and the chickens. And the bees now have all of their flowers, so they're doing their work. However, I have problems that I've caused for myself with all of this moving around. My kitchen is not fully operational. It's mostly operational, except for the fact that I don't have any bowls going. I've also begun adding some of the different food types. This is the chain for apples, which is identical to the berries. I've also expanded out the next step for carrots. But I'm going to be working on this over time, so I'm not entirely sure how much I want to tackle at the moment. I might just set up the bowls pretty much going how they were before, which is really just this little process going over here. I have some plans for this area, but I doubt I will get to it this episode, so just bear in mind the stuff's going to happen over here eventually. But my biggest problem is that my colonists don't have any clothing or toys. I have my little manual toy setup over here, which is obviously not nearly enough, and I never bothered automating it. And the clothes used to be over here, and they have moved, so that's not really functional either. So I want to make it functional. I have this little template set up over here for kind of tentatively what I want to get done. Ultimately, my clothing setup is going to go in this little section here, and this is going to be for toys. I hope that's enough room. I have no idea. But I have room to expand upwards if I need to. So it should be fine. So let's get some of this in place, and then I'll cover all the various changes that I'll make. There we go. This is essentially my toy workshop. I'll probably put different amounts of walls in here at some point. I'll probably fiddle with it here and there as I tend to do. But for the most part, this is about it. Ultimately, with the toys, there's two different branches. There's the horsey branch and there's the dolly branch. Each one of those is 4 steps, so this should about cover it over time. For right now, I only need the first step, so those are just going to be either blueprints or I'll just wipe them out of there. And these appear to be all of the various components that I will need, for the most part. We got some stuff coming later that I don't have access to yet, so this is going to have to change slightly, but I should have room for that. Ultimately, I wanted to have a separate wood setup, because this is already struggling as it is to keep up with my demands. So I figured I don't want to impact the toys, and I don't want the toys to impact everything else I'm doing. So they're going to have their own independent wood setup, which also means I'm probably going to need to expand my wood production, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. For right now, I'll probably steal one of the 2 wheelbarrow guys that I've got going to feed this section over here. And in fact, I'm going to have to delete that. Put that there. That should be fine. Also, I'm realizing I didn't floor this properly the way I should have. There we go. So this is the toy workshop, and I'm going to cut a little wall open here so my bots can move a little bit faster. And I'm going to be calling bots over here to do the automated setup. So first off, buttons, I don't think I need any buttons in here. So I think this guy can actually move over here. So let's do that. And for him, he's probably going to come over and do his thing as soon as I remove his buttons. So he's going to come over and do his thing. That's fine. I never set up a wheel bot, but I don't need it yet for the current steps that I've got, so that's fine. The only thing I need over here for the doll is poles, stone, wool blankets, and wooden buttons. So we've got the buttons covered. The poles and stone, I'm just going to have them pull from over here for now until I get the rest of this set up. The stone, I might end up with a second storage over here somewhere, but again, for right now, it can pull from over here. So let's get a bot set up to do that. I might need 2, just because there's enough different items that it'd be nice to have 2 bots going at once. So 1 bot can go get poles and stone. So 1 stone, pocket that, 2 poles, and then come over here and drop it off. Alright, fairly simple automation. I don't even want to do a lot of repeats in here, so go get a stone, stow it, go get some poles, go to the toy station, drop off the poles, retrieve the stone, do all of that 4 times for 4 dolls. Only if it's empty forever. Do that. Now I've already got some of that set up here, so he's going to do 4 times on his own, but he's not going to be able to put it there because those things are already filled. Now, the next step actually requires the wool blanket, so I kind of have to pause and go do part of the tailor setup as well. Let's actually go ahead and remove a wall here for now. I'll make that pretty later, but the bots need to not be going all over the place. So let's do part of the tailor setup here. Alright, so for the tailor setup, we have these various objects here that I'm just going to have to move straight in there, aren't I? Because I don't have walls and stuff to operate. Alright, fine. And those aren't closed. So picky. So picky. Alright, so these spinning wheels only really have 4 uses. To spin wool, thread, cotton, and bulrush. So I just need 4 of them. And I believe I have 4 of them. Like so. So we'll have 1 for wool, 1 for thread, 1 for cotton thread, and then this one's for the bulrush thread. And then I believe this is my wool blanket, so that can go directly below the wool spinning wheel. And then this is my bulrush. And then I'll just need 2 more for the other types of blankets as well. Blankets, cloth, whichever. So let's get a bot over here making wool blankets and wool, because I don't think I've done that just yet. I'm going to bring over this box for the wool, and we'll move that in a bit whenever I get a place for the sheep. But I just want it close so the bot can use it. Alright, so bot number 1, you grab yourself fleece and make wool out of it. Each of those can just be repeat until your hands are full and empty. That should be 6, since they can hold 6 items. So we don't need to repeat that multiple times, just a full handful is all we need. Only if it's empty. And go. It's not going to do anything at the moment. It's going to do it loudly. But that should be easy enough. And then bot number 2 is going to grab the wool from here and make a blanket out of it. Alright, so now that we've got wool, now I can work on my second bot, which is going to be buttons and blankets. So you get yourself a wool, and then stow that, get yourself a button, drop, retrieve, drop, and that should be sufficient. I was wondering where the toy went. It turns out my bot has already grabbed that, because he was already programmed to work on that machine. He already grabbed the toy and brought it over to a colonist who needed it. Good. That piece is already working just fine. And they're just going to keep on making dolls as long as those are empty. So as long as colonists need toys, they will be produced. Now this whole setup here, I'm going to reprogram in my off time. I just wanted to show you this is the plan. It's going to be exactly identical to this one. I just need to reconfigure like 8 more bots to do it. So that's fine. We'll worry about that later. And all of these, I don't even need them yet. They are for the next tiers of toys that I don't even have unlocked yet. But these are the tools that will be needed in the future. So they're just going to be there, ready to go. Now for the tailoring setup, I need the clothing back up and functional. And for right now, I'm just going to do what I did before and just move it in here, and I'll reorganize later. And these bots, I believe, all just need to start working again. Go. Yeah, that should be just fine. He is the toga bot, so he's bringing over clothing for our poor colonists, our poor naked colonists, but they're doing just fine now. Or will be very soon, and then we're going to have WoW flowing, finally, once again, so I can get some research going. I'm eager to get those metal tools, so I want to get this moving again. So that's the basic of the new toy workshop and the new clothing workshop. But we still need to kind of feed them with the bits and pieces that they need. So let's do that next. You can go over here for now. That should be fine. You guys, what are you guys not doing? I believe they're not moving because they're reliant on some of these bots doing their thing for the bulrush. So let's turn them on as well. Nope, they're not doing their thing either. Which means somewhere along the way I broke something. Which doesn't surprise me at all. Wait. Someone came and did something. Ah. Here's where I didn't fully set him up correctly. Or rather, I did, but I didn't count on him already having something in his hands. So if I edit this and do a fail out, that fail condition is going to happen because he has full hands. I can modify that later to work better, but for right now, failing out works just fine to get everything moving again. The things I didn't know when I set all this stuff up come back to bite me, of course. But that's fine. Everything in its own time. And then you are finally moving to get the bulrush cloth to make a fresh toga. So now, I need to move the sheep and get the shearing happening again. Because at some point, moderately soon, my fleece excess storage is going to run out. So I need to get the sheep over here. Also, I have weeds needed to make string. So I need a weed farm as well. And I need bulrush, which is already over here, but I might move it. I'll leave it here for now, but I might move it eventually a little bit closer at hand. Plus, coming up very soon, I'm going to need cotton. So I'm going to need multiple farms going here. So for that, I think I will do pretty much a mirrored setup that I have over there, which is a 9x9 internal space for each segment. So one of these will be for sheep, one of them will be for cotton, bulrush, and weeds. So let's see about getting this cleaned up and ready for all of the various inhabitants and or plants. For right now, I'm going to have my rogue digger come over here and just clean out all of the turf, and I'll redecorate as needed. He's also going to run out of juice before he even gets here. That's going to be another minor issue, as I don't have any recharging bots over here, but I can take care of that, no problem. I also need a shovel for myself, and I'll need to take care of all these various plants. And let's see if we can just time-lapse this whole cleanup process. Alright, well that seems to be enough for now. I ran out of my crude stone tracks, so I'm going to need to have my robots work on some more. So let's set that up quick. That should do, I hope. For the moment. I'll probably work on that over time as well, because it takes a long time for them to build up all that. That's gonna have to be a finished later project, but that's fine. I didn't need all of these ready just yet anyway. Got one set up, and this one's going as well. I'm pretty sure the sheep can just go right here, and then this can be the weeds, and then we'll do the cotton and the bulrush up here, or something like that. Haven't decided quite how I want that to work yet, because obviously they need marshlands to do the bulrush, so TBD on that, I think. But for right now, this is just about done, and we'll get the sheep in here in a moment. Alright, we're coming right along here. I have moved over a couple of the alpaca. I have also moved over the bot that picks up fleece, and I have moved over the bot that does the shearing. I've also added the conditions for shearing both sheep and alpaca in the same area. It's set up to repeat forever shearing sheep, and repeat forever shearing alpaca, and failing out if it can't do either of those. So it's always looking to see if it's got shears in its hand, and it's always looking for a critter to shear. So that seems to have worked out fairly well. Now, I'm still working on clearing out these farms here, or rather, he's working on clearing out the farms. Meanwhile, I have filled up yet another box. This should be fine. I'll just add it to the growing pile of boxes of greenery and continue filling the other ones. Now, the sheep also need something to eat, so let's see about getting them at least a couple things planted. And by a couple things, it turns out I only had 3 left. So let's see about getting them some more. The only place I've got grass growing currently is over here where the sheep are currently eating. And over here... never mind. I guess I have grass kind of all over the dang place. Alright, let's get some scythed up with the bot that I already had programmed for that. Just need to tell him to find a different area. Where's their previous area? Over here. You just start scything. All of it. No, I'll pick up after you as you go. So that's going to take quite a bit of time. So I'll work on that over time as well. And ultimately I'm just going to plant this whole darn area, because clearly they eat a lot. Now I believe all of my alpacas are over here. So where's my bot that was doing that? You? Yes. So let's stop you and get you reprogrammed. And this time we'll find full sheep. Had him look for the full ones just because there's always a condition, there's always a clause. So it's easier just to wait for them to be full. So find a full sheep, drop it off over here, and do that until we're out of sheep. And since they're coming over here as they are full, they're going to be sheared immediately by this bot. I think I'm going to move you there for now. There, that should do. Just making sure all the roads are up and ready to go. And I told myself I'd pick up after this bot, and I'm not picking up after this bot. So how about a bot to do that? Do I have a bot over here for that? Stick bot. Stick bot's worthless. Let's change stick bot to do something else. Alright. Grass bot. Now doing his thing. Now doing his thing. He had an axe in his hand. That's why he wasn't doing his thing. So stick bot. Be more useful. There. Now we should be more useful. And everything is coming along mostly okay. We've got this spot just about ready here. This spot's done, and he is almost done digging up that spot as well. I think I do like the look of the grass under the stone tracks, so I might end up replanting those, but that's fine. Not worried about that at the moment. I'm just going to get some grass planted for the sheepies. And that is about as much as I can do right now until A, these guys move out of the way, and B, I get more grass. So the sheepies are happy in their new homes. They're getting there at least. They have more food to eat than they did before, I believe. Either way, they have a nice robot team to take care of them again. All of my, well, I was gonna say all of my toys and clothing is back up and running, but I forgot I don't have any charging bots to do that, so... I'll take care of it over time. Probably gonna have someone stationed in this little arch here. It'll be fine, I promise. But we are now 40k WOV further than we were before, and it's all being automated, so that's good. Now, the weed farm setup is going to be an exact duplicate of what we got over here. So I just need to copy some of these bots. In fact, let's do that right now just to get it started. And to do that, I need to actually tell them all to stop moving for the moment. I need my disk, and I need some bots. So let's get you two over here. Alright, I'm just going to have one bot, I think, for each process for now. So we need a digger bot. Copy you. And paste it over here. Get you guys separated a little bit. So this is my new digger bot. And he can just go. I do need to adjust his location though, because he's not working over here. He's working over here. There we go. And then I need a planter bot, which is... looks like Cheech is my planter bot. I'm going to assume, because I have forgotten. Yes, Cheech plants them, John collects them. Okay, so we copy you, paste you over here, and adjust your area. And I believe I can retarget this to that box. Now there's nothing in there right now, so I can grab some weeds as a little bit of a starter. Great, so he's now planting the very first weed harvest over here for the clothing setup. And then I need one more bot. And I need to copy Chong as well. There. Now I have duplicated my weed setup, and I've got one bot each doing all the different tasks over here to keep this box full. and that will grow over time. Great. So I have the beginnings, or at least all of my current needs fulfilled over here with the new farm, specifically for the clothing. That's wonderful. I may have to tone down the fleecing, because I think my entire fleece field is going to be covered. If I don't tone that down, if that box is full perhaps, no more shearing. But it's fine. I can just cover the entire field with fleece currently. It'll be nice and fluffy. It'll be fine. So, aside from the fact that I don't have any charging bots, this is going quite well. I have toys, and I have clothing. And now it's just going to take some time for all this to kick in and do its thing. But we have room for expansion. I have plans. Stuff's happening. So I think that'll be it for this episode. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.